Hello. So I had some audio issues earlier. This is going to be a really short talk. I just wanted to tell you to look in my description for some links. Um, I've been getting better about that, keeping track of my links of what I'm trying to talk about. So I have been watching Mark Passio's presentations. Those are my first two links. The last 2 weeks, he's done some really great work. So check those out. And then I also included an invite to the Grove community, the Greenthread Apothecary, the Green Arte website, and the book by Josh Williams, Spiritual Herbalism. So I wanted to read a quick excerpt from something Josh wrote called How to Journey. To journey with a plant spirit is to dedicate a bit of one's time, energy, and space to a new relationship of magic, medicine, and potential. Journeys, also called sitting with the plant spirit, give us room and resources to learn directly from these ancient spirits for our own personal wellness, spiritual growth, and initiations. They carve out time and space for wisdom from the green realm to sprout and grow and fruit in our world. And through these journeys, we become more ourselves and more aligned to the great mysteries of nature. So I wanted to just share that with you. That's why I highly recommend the Grove community. It's been really nice for me having a space in which I can talk about the planty things in a way that I find to be really nourishing. Also from Josh, he offers this wish that however you journey, may the old green tracks bless you abundantly. And I found that really interesting. I've been called to do some research on my family history, my genealogy, and one of the largest communities that does that work is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So I was able to go on to familysearch.org and I got a few branches of my family history that went all the way back over 1,000 years. So that was quite surprising. Various European descent in that family line, but it went really far back. So I was blown away at how certain records being kept can preserve a familial line for over 1,000 years. And then on some other branches of the tree that are cut off, the information is lost just a few generations back. So I've been inspired by Professor Hamamoto's discussions of the diaspora, the displaced people. And I feel like we're displacing nature. And, there's a lot of things around us that are indicating a struggle on this planet right now. So I'm just very much grounded in working with plant spirits, which we have records going back. Let's see if I have it. Sorry, I don't have it quickly to grab, but I have a great botany book that just talks about the lifeline of plants. And so looking at human history, just going back a few thousand years, is pretty humbling. But to think about the plants and how long they've lived, that even more so to me, is just amazing, especially thinking of like a ginkgo tree, or right next door, my neighbor has a dawn redwood tree, very ancient tree. So I love working with the plants because I I'm just so humbled. And when I planted peas today, I just thought, I'm so grateful for whatever you might nourish by putting these peas in the ground. You know, maybe they'll nourish the soil, bugs, birds, other critters might eat them, but I hope that they will it will provide nourishment for some of us, and I hope I have enough to share abundantly. So I just wanted to share those messages with you. And thank you so much for following me in this journey. And I wish you the best of things to come. The May Day, uh, going far, far back, um, to this concept of the return, the coming of summer, and the return of the plant spirits from other world, from the land of the Fae. And so I love that picture of experiencing the plant world in this different way, where here we are getting to be learning from them. And this month I'm going to be working with dandelion. They are abundant, and I'm carving out pathways in the garden around some of the volunteer plants. So my vision is creating meandering paths, going with the flow of certain plants that just pop up and let them live where they live. And then if they're encroaching on something else, maybe there's a few things that I'll dig up, but if they don't go into the compost, I might still use them uh, for food. If I need to dig up some dandelions, I'll make sure that I use them as best I can. So I always think it's really cute. The kids want to pick flowers for mom. And I ask them not to pick the tulips, though, because they last for a few days if you leave them in the garden. And so they've been bringing me dandelions. And you should always take a gift from a child, even if it's a rock or a stick or anything silly. You should accept that gift because they're giving you all that they have. And that's a very fortunate thing to receive. So, uh, I'm gonna keep going on my journey and learning from everyone that I possibly can, uh, only so that I may learn to articulate myself better and be able to teach. And the messages that I want to teach are just these lessons of being able to do this work on ourselves where we can become accountable and still have love for ourselves. Um, and that's my great struggle, is just not having negative self-talk when I don't achieve my perception of the goal. And I'm just trying to laugh at my mistakes. I crashed a cart full of 5-gallon jugs of water yesterday because there was a dip in the road, and I just didn't gauge it right, and I thought I could just go through it, and I broke a whole 5-gallon jug of water on the ground, and I just had to laugh at myself and take some extra time to, I got a replacement bottle, got the bottles refilled, and I just had to laugh and be glad I was okay. Um, so just all those little things and being grateful that, you know, the worst of things haven't happened, trying to take things into perspective. And certainly, like, tragedies do happen. And, I just can't imagine some kinds of losses. I just read about my ancestors that came from Switzerland in 1860. This is from my mom's family. And they settled here. They came through, they traveled on a wagon company after they took a ship from Switzerland, but they had 3 children on their ship with them, and they all died before they crossed and came to Utah. So any of my relatives, uh, of course, they were all born after this trek of, which is just amazing to think that they traveled from July to October with a wagon train. It just blows my mind. So anyways, I'm just very humbled, especially when I think about my problems and, how hard I might think my life is. It's like, whew, I want to really, with grace, remember the uh, the folks living now that have things so hard, and just bring patience and kindness to all exchanges that I possibly can, and if necessary, revisit and make amends. So, anyway, I'm processing that and it's pretty heavy, but at the same time, I feel the harmony of it. I'm not struggling with the weight or struggling with the pressure of anything. I just feel very engaged with the process. And that's a good thing, and that's a thing that I wanna teach ultimately, is that we can really overcome things. It's possible, and, don't judge people for having it all, especially confident people. If I've learned anything from my personality, it's how much I put on a face of confidence and enthusiasm, and sometimes I am bullshitting myself. Like, I'm faking all the way through it because once I get home, I get all concerned about, oh, was that the right thing to do to share that video with this new group of people? What are they going to think of me? I still struggle with that stuff. Um, but I'm finding more ways to focus on who I should send those messages to, and keeping that tribe smaller has been really great. And I have 11 subscribers now. That's really exciting to see people actually watching these. And I'm just amazed at how this process has carried me forward just in a matter of a few months. Um, just in learning how to think, uh, how to focus, how to quiet the mind, and to pay attention to the quiet whispers around me. So I really thank Mark Passio for his lessons, specifically the last 2 weeks, because uh, they've definitely helped me. And so he spoke about a concept of the holy guardian angel. And Crowley's view of the holy guardian angel was a deeper connection to the higher self, which guides us towards the true will. For the holy guardian angel to manifest in our lives, we must learn to listen to its wisdom by quieting the voice of the ego, which ever seeks to take us off the path of wisdom. Crowley called his own angel guardian. Oh, okay, that doesn't matter. So, yeah, I just appreciate that message of tuning into the higher self and deeper connection to the higher self. And I do believe that the plant spirit work really makes that accessible, when a lot of the other new agey stuff, there's something that doesn't sit right with it. I used to work with folks that were producing music festivals, and it turned out half of the musicians were just being paid in like LSD or whatever, these like party drugs. And I did not want to be a part of that anymore. But I thought that that was a space where we could build community. And it was too hippy dippy free love BS for me. And I yeah, it didn't sit right with me. I just didn't like it. And so, um, over 10 years ago now, I kind of receded to this version of myself, which, has really been the hermit. And I've been really trying to figure out, what is true for me, who I am. Um, you can't know what you want until you know who you are. So I'm just so grateful where I've been able to land. And I just think it's not by accident that I'm able to be here in this place now and have the kids that I have with their amazing personalities. It's not an accident that, I lost a job or that there were repercussions because of my decisions. And to me, that actually came out as a net positive, even though for a time I was like questioning all of my decisions. I was questioning all of my intuition. Um, but I'm just so grateful I had powerful voices around me that encouraged me to speak my own truth, um, and not be afraid of the repercussions. And I think it's given me more confidence than I ever had before when I was playing the role of being confident. Now, it's amazing just how much more beauty I see in things, how much more excited I feel, and and I'm laughing again, and I'm really having fun. And that sort of whistle while you work thing, where it's just coming naturally because you are having fun. Like, you're not under a deadline to get one task accomplished. Um, you just have to keep at it, though, and there's great joy in that. So I thank you again, and I hope that this week I'll actually take the whole week off from doing these talks, because I have begun to prepare some different kinds of slides, and I may be doing a new off-camera voiceover trial of having some sort of like slides that is like a closed captioning, and do some really basic prepared presentations with slides just to get my wiggles out with that and figure out how to produce better shows. So um, I'm going to be spending the week dabbling with that, and then I'll probably come back and start doing these live chats about once a week at like a regularly scheduled time. And I think that'll be a fun way to move forward through the summer, because we're going to be really busy playing with my kids and my nieces and nephews. We're going to have a lot going on. So I think that'll keep me on track. And I look forward to hearing from you. And please tell me what books you're reading, or if you've picked up any of the books that I've suggested. Give me your thoughts on it. And feel free to let me know what it is you'd like me to cover in the future. I think that would be interesting to hear what folks are interested in learning more about. I always find that to be a better way for me to focus, is like if somebody puts me to task. um, I can deep dive in the research. When I start diving into things on my own, I always get into the tangents, and I think that's really fun. But it might be helpful if you guys give me some suggestions on one particular topic, and that might challenge me. So thank you very much, and I wish you very, very well, and can't wait to talk to you, probably, let's say, we'll do another live stream next Sunday at 9 o'clock. Thank you. Have a great night.